Hey everyone, just stepped out of the truck. Immediately, deer flies are very angry, but thankfully we got a pretty strong wind. Looks like we have a 2-foot metal culvert. Hasn't flowed in a while because look at those natural swamp gases, swamp oils that are building up. You can see a bunch of sticks and stuff from previous releases here. And let's see if we can get this flowing. It looks like a couple feet of water is being backed up over here on the other side. Very windy today. Got a lot of daisy flowers. Wow. This thing's plugged up pretty well, but thankfully with this kind of grate, there is nothing on that side of it, on this side of it, so it's pretty easy once these are lifted up to kind of make a little channel and get it to drain back a little bit. Because this thing is completely plugged. Eventually it'll start flowing over this road. But you can tell it's a very slow trickle in. Really nice day. Yeah, very windy, grass is all blowing around. Let's see. Oh, usually get them to stay up. That's gonna be a tricky one. That's why you don't put your hand underneath these heavy metal rods. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. That's going to be a tricky one. Don't want to have to pull you out. Come on. Stay up there. It's going to fall back down when I pull the next one, I bet. The last one of these grates we did like this was fairly easy. They don't have to pull them all up. They just use a very big grate on the smaller pipe. They must just have a lot of this style of grating around. Oh no! I'm not even gonna try that again. We gotta put a little pebble or something underneath each one for when we lift it back up. Let's get the tripod out. All right, everyone, we gotta, I think, just put little pebbles underneath these to keep it. All right, let's try to get some water coming out of this. All right, everyone, camera number 2 is going. Woo! The bugs are bad. Beavers are bad too. Beavers are a real pain on this one.
All right, everyone, I got to run over to the other side. Make sure everything's coming out okay. All right, back over to camera one. All right, and that's about as much as we can get it open. We got it open down to the bottom of this structure, which is blocking a little bit of the bottom of the pipe, but can't do anything about it. The bottom of this is square. The bottom of the pipe is round. Put it back into place. All right, and now the poles are back in place, meaning beavers cannot easily build back. All right, everyone. Got it open nicely. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. That'll drop this pond back about 12, 18 inches. The deer flies are biting bad while I was doing that. Very angry creatures. They're very hungry for blood. Here's what the exiting end looked like before we did anything.
And here's what it looks like now. Got a bunch of slop. That was actually, they used a lot of moss mixed in with that mud and sticks. Around here, the forest is very wet and mossy, so that's what the beavers were using. Now, they'll probably have that clogged up again tonight, but considering how little was coming out of the pipe when we got here, unless we get a big rainstorm, this will take a long time for the beavers to gain back this amount of water. So, preventative maintenance, buying the road time. Even though they'll probably get back to this tonight, it has the rest of the day to drain back before the beavers do so. So, save the road for a little bit longer. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day. All right, everyone. Now we are trying to get to Otter Rapids Hydroelectric Dam. Go take a look at that. We camped in the area back in the winter. This road here is closed, which is on the map, very overgrown. Now this very tight winding road here you would think is not a main road, but this is actually the road that goes to the hydroelectric dam. Doesn't look like it's used very much, but you can see they just graded it a little bit. It says we should be there in a little bit. It says the speed limit on this road is 80 kilometers an hour, but not in this shape. Maybe back when it was created in actually 2 lanes. I love how skinny a lot of the trees are this far north. Alright, everyone, this road is starting to turn to a very muddy situation. We still have another 16 kilometers until we get to the hydro dam. Hey, look, this piece of equipment here has a happy face on it. But very muddy right here. And if we wait until it gets rainy, which it's supposed to rain all night, all day tomorrow, this is probably going to be super duper muddy. So we're gonna go up to the dam, check it out, and then we'll camp somewhere else, not on this road, which is being worked on. Private crossing, cross at your own risk. This goes all the way up to Hudson's Bay, this train track. The only way to drive up there is in the winter on an ice road, supposedly, because this road that we're on now looks like it only goes to the dam, then it starts heading south again on the other side of the dam. Yeah, this right here looks very soupy. I'm not even in 4-wheel drive, so I'm not worried yet. But I am pulling a 3,000 pound trailer too, so that does not help in this muddy situation. It's a bit soft here. I think I am going to switch into 4-wheel drive in just a moment. Yeah, I can hear myself bogging a little bit. This is a very fresh road. It looks like they recently raised it up. There's actually signs back there saying they're doing a lot of earth moving and stuff, meaning bringing dump trucks in here, raising the road up so it doesn't flood as much. We're going underneath some power lines now coming from the dam. Might also be going to another dam that we visited earlier, which is absolutely huge. Took like 5 minutes to drive across half of it, then I turned around right by the spillway because there was a truck parked in the way. Alright everyone, we got 12 kilometers left at this point of the road. There was a very muddy section back there that if it starts raining, it's not going to be fun at all driving through that. Might actually want to wait it out until the road firms back up. There was a very sandy area, which I could feel myself losing traction on. This is also a very sandy area, but they did steamroll it at least, so not quite as bad. And once we get up there, we're going to want to turn around to make sure we can avoid any type of rain. What are these ribbons about? Usually that means there's some kind of issue with the pipe. I don't see any floods or anything. Check out this part of the woods. It's like the beach. There's so much sand out here. On the satellite images, I thought this was snow. I thought it was winter shots. It's not. This whole area is super duper sandy. Very easy to spin out. There's a super steep part of road going down here. There's a culvert down here. Very steep dip. It's starting to rain. That might spell trouble on the way back for that mud. Super sandy area. Never seen the woods be so sandy like this. This far north, there's not as much tree cover. The trees are very short. The trees here are so cool and skinny. This area is not as sandy, so we got some trees getting a bit taller again, which is cool to see. Up north here, there's not as much logging since there's not too much wood to get out of here. Haven't seen much logging around here. Some areas, but not nearly as widespread as if you drive south a few hours. This area looks so cool with all the sand in the woods. On the satellite images, it looks like there's massive beaches around this river too coming up. Here we go by another truck. I wonder if some of these drivers are sleeping out here. Both of those trucks we saw are they're dump trucks, but they can open up the bottom and evenly spread out the sand, which is kind of cool. All right, 130 meters, and should be approaching the dam. Right here, there's a big radio tower. Another set of train tracks. Lots of mosquitoes came in here as we stepped out to use the bathroom back there. Gotta look for trains. The tracks are very shiny. Here's the dam. Auto Rapid Dam. About to go across. Yeah, before on this road, some of the workers talked to me, said that we should be fine with four-wheel drive, and they also said Dam is closed until 5 p.m. It's now 5:30 because they're working on it. This is really cool. Let me show you out the window a little bit. Awesome view. There's the hydro station. Yeah, there's a lot of sandy beaches along that river. Looks really nice. All right, continuing across. And then once we're on the other side, the road starts going south again. This is the furthest thing north, it looks like, in the northeast Ontario. There's not really any roads that go anywhere else that are on the map. There's a couple ice roads that go further up where the railroad track goes. We can't use those this time of year. They're mud holes. Yeah, there's a toilet trailer we just went by. You see lots of shipping container offices here. Yeah, they're doing a lot of renovation. Look at these gigantic signs for boaters. Look at this cool machine here on tracks. They got the gates open, that's cool. Seagulls. And the road continues off now into the wilderness a bunch more. Now this road here is completely closed in the winter. So the people that work here live out here year round. It's so remote. Way back. It's raining right now, but when it's really dry and dusty like it was just a few hours ago, they drive this truck full of water around and make sure the dust is kept down. Right now we're on some sand and we're passing a steamroller, and now the road is very loose, non-packed sand, just graded sand, so it's kind of slippery, like if you ever try to ride a bicycle at the beach. So just gotta be careful here, and this turns into a very muddy section of road before they put the sand. But thankfully we're getting out of here right as the rain is starting to come down, so it doesn't turn to a concrete consistency mess. Just like on ice, I can feel the sand trying to pull me slightly, but it looks like we've reached the end of the sand. Now it's a muddy mess for the next 3 or 4 kilometers. They're adding a bunch of fill on top of the old road, which is making it a little messy until they're finished. Over here on the side's pretty cool. They built a little road with logs so they wouldn't get stuck in the mud. Yeah, you see over here, they added a whole road of logs, probably just to park things in there. It doesn't look like they will use that road in a long time.
Mosquito friend.
Had to shut the window fast. Yeah, this kind of area, all it takes is a little bit of rain and you'll sink super duper deep into this. Pretty easy to get stuck in this sort of mess. I don't think you can see depth on the camera too much, but some of these spots, the hump in the middle of it, I'd say is a good 8-10 inches. Got quite the hump. Probably hear the trailers jiggling around a little bit, the hitch. Seems a lot better coming back than it was going out. Doesn't seem as bad. This is really pretty looking out here at the power lines leaving the power plant. Oh, the mosquitoes are coming over. Every time I open the windows, there's always a swarm of mosquitoes. If it's sunny, there's always a swarm of deer flies. It's because all the CO being produced by the car is attracting them, and when you're driving slow like this, they can keep up to you. They think you're a breathing animal, just the exhaust they can smell coming out of the vehicle. All right, we're back to some train tracks. Very muddy and lumpy right here. This would be the worst place to spin out. Here's all the equipment fixing the road. A couple graders. And this one over here on the plow even has a smiley face, so you know that they're a friendly logger. I wonder who will get that reference in my comments. Alright, and now we're going on to the section of road. They did a little bit of grading. It's extremely narrow, but it's not muddy because they didn't add material yet to fill it in. Because this part of the road here, it's probably very low lying, and where your tires are is going to be collecting a lot of water, so they're lifting it up a bit. Once the road's packed down after a couple months, it won't be a muddy mess after every rainstorm like back there. Perfect timing. It just started raining heavier, and we're off to safety on a good part of the road. I've never seen mosquitoes this bad out in the woods. Look at them swarming the window screen. You can even hear them buzzing if we're quiet. Listen carefully when I go up close to the screen with the camera. They can smell our breath. And there's nothing but swamps for hundreds of kilometers around here.